say, you know what? This doing all this stuff for myself so that I can have all these things, maybe this isn't working. Maybe there's a greater calling for me. Believe that if you are made for a reason and you do the things that would apply to that reason, then you're going to have success. It's like saying to a watch, don't keep time. But that's what I was made to do. I don't care, don't keep time. It's going to keep ticking anyway unless I pull that battery out. Well, when our lives are over, our batteries are out. Until then, you keep ticking and you do what you're made to do. Number 3, you have to prepare. We've got our dream, we believe, and now we got to pack our bags for where we're going. Just like you had to pack your bags to come here and get ready to attend Elevate, get ready for this flight, this excursion, you got to pack your bags in life. So I researched a bit to become a DJ. I went out and I bought a book on DJing. What equipment should I buy? How do I market myself? And the beautiful thing is you don't have to know everything about what you're doing. In fact, I would suggest that most of the time we haven't a clue what we're doing, but at least we can try. We're like the bumblebees. Who knows the bumblebee syndrome? Bumblebee weighs too much to fly. Did you know that? Aerodynamically, it is too heavy for its wings to carry it. Does it care? I hate those things too. I mean, I'm glad we have them. They're good for the flowers, but I hate bees. And my daughter especially, when she's around a bee, she's ah! I had to prepare to become a DJ. I had to have some clue, and I went out there and I did it. Some of you know that in a previous life, I sold encyclopedias. Yes, Britannicas. Ma'am, could I interest you in this lovely 26-volume padded leather set? No? Don't you care about your children's education? They're online. A good answer. Now, in fact, that is why Britannicas no longer have a sales force that goes door to door. Because you can get encyclopedias online, you can get them cheap on CD. They basically killed the direct sales industry because of technology. But before I went knocking on doors, I had to figure out, how do I sell? Zig Ziglar's Secrets of Closing the Sale. Write it down. If you don't have it, you haven't read it. It is timeless. Now, it's dated in that he's talking a lot more about person-to-person direct sales, eyeballing people on the phone, but a lot of the techniques and strategies that are used, we apply today to our copy and to our call center. Zig Ziglar is one of my heroes. In fact, he was the guy, I went to see him speak at it was a Born to Win conference. It was the first inspirational seminar I went to. I must have been 22 years old, and when I saw him up there speaking and I was inspired, I thought, one day I want to be on a stage like that. Can I let you know a secret? At that point, public speaking terrified me. No, you don't understand. Terrified. Like, I can't go do this. I'm going to freak out. It was awful. So I thought to myself, what kind of vision is that, to be wanting to be up there if I'm terrified of it? I had problems in my speech communications class in college. I had note cards, and there was maybe 8 people in the class, and they're all looking at me, and I am just get me through this, because I want to die right now. But I had vision back then, and when I look at what's happened over the past few years, this year I had the opportunity to speak for Chris Howard, Harv Eker, Mark Victor Hansen, and Tony Robbins. Does it get any better than that? And I wish I've got something that's like just about to happen, and I can't tell you yet because I haven't got confirmation yet. Maybe I'll get an email today and they'll tell me, and then I can tell you. Point is, I had to prepare to do sales. I had to know something about AdSense before writing a book. If I had just come out of nowhere and said, you can make all this money with AdSense, what credibility would I have? But when my page says, I went from $30 a day to over $500 a day in AdSense, and you can too, it's believable. Whether they believed it or not, it was true. And now I had the information and the data to share with people. You got to prepare. You got to be ready to share what you know. And we did this crazy thing last year. How many heard of the Next Internet Millionaire? Oh, great. Thanks. You know, some ideas we have, you just don't know what you're getting into. And in January of last year, I was in the shower. It's where I get my best ideas. I don't know. I should probably spend all my time showering and just brainstorming stuff. I would be the cleanest brainstormer in the world. I don't know. It's the water. Maybe it's a purification thing, or maybe it hitting your head, stimulating the synapses. I don't know. And I called up Eric Homeland, who I had done some successful joint ventures with previously, and I said, I heard you told me you wanted to get into video. I got an idea. Why don't we do the world's first competitive internet reality show? And he so stupidly said yes. He didn't know what he was getting into. It basically consumed most of the year, and I'm so glad we did it, and it just turned out great, and it's been a fantastic branding tool, and we are still, one of our agents is still in negotiations with a potential cable channel to actually pick it up and shoot a season, so we'll see what happens. But before we did that, you can bet we had to research a little bit about equipment. We had to bring on people. In fact, we've got several people that were on the set. Dan and the guys back in the control room, Fletcher and Chris, they were there. They experienced this whole thing. We had to have talented, gifted people to pull this off. If we hadn't prepared, there would have been no show. But we did, and there was. And honestly, the list of projects and things that we do goes on. And the point is, you got to prepare. So what's it mean to you? Commit yourself to being armed with the absolute best and latest knowledge on your topic. Read, watch videos, go to conferences, interact with other people, ask questions. You can never ask too many questions, and there are no stupid questions. Although I did hear Jim Edwards say from the stage one time, there are no stupid questions, only stupid people who ask stupid questions. But he has a way of insulting people, so he can't help it. Gotta love Jim. There are no stupid questions. Ask, always ask. And know your stuff. And you have to invest in yourself continually. There are success principles that apply to every niche. And if it is your area of passion, your area of interest, make sure you are fully armed. We get courses on a regular basis. Ken will see that somebody's launching a product, say, can you get that? So let me go check it out. There's a software tool that comes out. We need to investigate that. Don't think that because we've hit a place where we're bringing in several $1 million a year that we're like, okay, we're done. We got nothing we can learn. On the contrary, the more we know, the more we discover that there is to know, and we're always finding people who have new ways of using pay-per-click, of getting their site optimized for the search engines, of using social media, and we just sponge it up. And so continually, always be learning. You got to be prepared. Dream, believe, prepare. Number 4, act. A lot of people get stuck right here on this one. Because if you don't take action, what happens? Nothing. Zip, zilch, zero, nada, bupkis. Nothing. And I cannot tell you, all right, we're all guilty of this. Let's be honest. Who has bought a product, being very excited about it, and then put it on the shelf and done nothing with it? All right, guilty as charged. I think we all are, because we're excited about what can be, but when it comes to actually doing, it's like, wait, you mean if I don't? I thought if I open this box, then the angels would sing and money would just come pouring out of it. Oh, it's not working. Well, neither are you. And this is why I'm excited about you guys being here, because just the fact that you're here shows you're willing to take action. And I got to tell you, nothing would break my heart more than if you did not apply what you learned here over this 3 days. I want to see a success story out of each and every person in this room. I expect it, because we're going to give you our best, and I want you to put your best out there. You don't have to know how to do stuff to take action. I did not know how to run a DJ business. I went out and I bought turntables and some music, and I knew I could wiki like that. And I went to apartment complexes. This is in Dallas. There's tons of apartment complexes, and this is the mid to late 80s. And the economy's doing well, and I thought, I can come. I called their, whatever their cruise director would be at the apartment complex, and said, you guys have any pool parties? I can come and DJ for $50 an hour, whatever it was. Oh, that'd be great. Oh, okay. So I came out, and then I started knocking on more doors. And before you know it, I'm doing pool parties as a DJ every weekend. And then pretty soon, the people at the parties, they come up to me saying, we're getting married. Would you come DJ our wedding? Sure. Do I have to dress up? Yeah. So, got dressed up in the tux and the bow tie and everything, and now I'm doing that. I didn't know how to do it. I took action. I put myself out there. So don't let the fear of, I'm not sure what to do next, stop you from doing something every day, some action. I did not know how to sell encyclopedias. I really did not. I read Zig's book, but when they said, okay, here's your leads, call them and make appointments, and then take the book, and they gave us a book that was all the words and pictures were on it, and we were supposed to put it in front of people and just flip through it and read it to them. And they had this big broadside, this spread you would put on their table that showed this lovely full-color picture, glossy, of all the encyclopedias, and you're supposed to go through the presentation, and that's how they train you. Basically, answer the ad in the paper, they give you the kit, and they go throw you up against the wall. And if you stick, good for them. If not, a lot of companies are like that. I didn't know how to do it, and I went out there and I went through the dog and pony show anyway, and I didn't sell anything. In fact, I was 6 weeks into it, and I went and sat down with my manager, Victor Picconi. Victor's from Long Island, a real Italian fellow. And he said, Joel, I think you can do this. Somewhere there's a catch in your brain, but you stick with this. I see these guys come through here. You got it. You can do this. He said, take these leads to East Texas. Go for the weekend, get away, go visit them, see what you can do. And I came back the next Monday, and I came in his office, and I had this face and he was like, oh, no. And then I went, bam, and slammed down 4 orders on his desk. You know what I did that weekend that was different? I got outside the box. That little thing they had me reading off of, I sat down and I talked to people, and I asked them questions, and I found out what the needs were for them and their family, and then I just showed them the book and how it met that need. It was so simple and uncomplicated. Just be yourself, and some amazing things could happen. Had no idea how to sell encyclopedias. I did it anyway. I didn't know how to build a software review business or get on the internet. But along with Ken's help, we did it anyway. We were on a web host in Dallas that was on what was the bandwidth of that pipe? It was like dial-up. It was terrible. And that was our first website, and we put it up, and it looked atrocious. And by today's standards, it would look like, the next door neighbor's 5-year-old kid built it. But sorry, no offense. But it was what it was, and we did it anyway. Took that action. I didn't know how to sell a company to Yahoo for 7 figures. No idea. How do you go about selling a company and negotiating with a giant, a behemoth of the industry? I contacted AOL, Excite, Lycos, all these search engines, and I couldn't figure out how to sell it to them. And it wasn't until one day I got an email from Yahoo, them contacting me and having to fly out to San Jose several times, doing the back and forth with them, negotiating. Didn't know how to do it. Took action, did it anyway. A couple of years back, I saw a site in the UK where these kids had it called the 1,000-word page. These kids took 1,000 words and they put them on the page, and these are all different niche words. And they said, we will sell you a word on the page for X, whatever it was, $10, $20, $30, and we will link to your site. It was a gimmicky thing. Who remembers the pixel page? People bought pixels. No value to that at all. And I saw that and I thought, you know what? What if we did something like that, but we added value? I didn't know how to do it. Called a developer. Can you build something similar, only make the keywords link directly to their page so they get search engine benefit? He said, yep. I said, how long will it take you? He said, 1 week. In 1 week, we had 500words.com up and running. Did a promotion for it, told my people that I was going to promote the page, that it would get Google PageRank, and that they would get traffic. And in 72 hours, we made $75,000 from that site. Is that cool? I think that's pretty cool, too. Thank you. I try not to do gimmicky things, but sometimes when opportunity knocks, you just got to open that door. And The naysayers said that page will not sustain Google PageRank. It will get banned from the search engines. It will get no traffic, and it will send no traffic. To this date, it is a PageRank 4 over 2 years later, and traffic still comes to it, and people still get search engine benefit from it because we did it right. Did I know how? No. Clueless. Did it anyway. And I did not know how to write an ebook and get on the New York Times bestseller list. I really didn't. When my goal to write the ebook was because my friends told me this is good information, you should share it with others, you could probably sell it. I figured if I could make $10,000 total off this ebook, I'd have it made. It went explosive. Some affiliates started promoting it, and the people that they knew that were affiliates picked up on it, and they started promoting it. We sold thousands of copies of AdSense Secrets because I was willing to take action, put up a lousy sales page, and tell a true story that would add value to people's lives. A true story. And I get testimonials all the time. Every day on Facebook, I have new people adding me as friend. Read your book, thanks so much. And that doesn't, I'm not so great, I'm just a regular guy. But I took my gifts, talents, and abilities and used them in such a way that resonated with people and blessed their lives. And there's no reason that you either aren't or can't do the same thing. What's this mean to you? Entrepreneurs take risks. Are you an entrepreneur? Yep. You're going to take risks. There's no two ways about it. And you have to be prepared. Say, you know what? This might fail. Believe me, I have had some failures. We don't go putting those on the sale page, right? Joel Comm, whose last ebook sold only $500 worth, now offers that. We don't put our supposed failures out there. And besides that, what are failures really but discovering another way to not do something? If you hit a home run every time, you're way better than Babe Ruth, because that man struck out an awful lot. So be prepared to fail. And if you do, fail fast. Turn to your neighbor and say, fail fast. Fail fast. Get it over with. It's painful. It hurts. Just some of you have heard this story before. I decided it would be a good idea a couple of years ago to build a website that would be a greeting card site where people could send cards to each other on the internet and then forward them to other people and it'd be really viral. And it was based on the concept of, you ready for this? What's up? Thought, wouldn't this be funny if we got celebrities and animals and all that doing what's up? And they can send it to other people. So we built the site. I paid a Flash developer a couple $1,000s or so to do it. And there, one of the cards was Hillary Clinton at a podium. What's up? I thought it was funny too. I could not get any traffic and get anybody to use this stupid site. It's still there today. Virtual-whassup.com. If you want a good laugh, WHASSUP. Virtual-whassup.com. I keep it. It's not for sale. It is a marker for me for what not to do. And if I look at why I shouldn't have done it, first of all, it was a lark. It distracted me from that which I really needed to be doing, because there was other things that were more significant, more profitable, had more promise. But, we entrepreneurs, a lot of us are accused of being ADD. And, look at the butterfly. Ooh, that's nice. What are you eating? Yeah, something smelling here? We're distracted. The law of distraction, right? So, don't get distracted, but if you're going to fail, do it quickly, get it over with, right? It's like the bandage. Just rip it off. Okay, I'm all better now. I think it's fear that keeps us from taking action. It really is, because if we open that box and we try this thing and we actually do what it says, what if it doesn't work? Oh, the disappointment. It's so much easier to just leave it over here and not face that disappointment. Not anymore. In fact, I want to pledge from everybody in this room by a show of hands, are you willing to take very specific action? Yes. Excellent. You got to do it. It's the only way something's going to happen. You overcome fear by taking action. Number 5, dream, believe, prepare, act, relate. Number 5. Got to relate. The bottom line is we're not made to do this on our own. And I would not be where I am today if it were not blessed by the relationships and friendships that I've got. There's no way I could pull. I could think I could do this on my own. I've got an incredibly talented group of people that work at my company that are able to do this. Some of which you'll see speak, but some of the most talented people are the ones that you don't see speak. The ones that are willing to do the administrative tasks, the ones that behind the production. If it were up to me, nothing would happen. If it weren't for the love of my wife and my kids and my friends and my associates, it wouldn't happen. It's all about people. It's all about people. I remember being in LA in, this would have been March of '06. And I went to Yannick Silver's Underground Conference. Anybody been to Yannick's conferences before? Great conference. He tends to find people that are under the radar, that are making money online, and brings them in to speak. And as I was walking around, I wasn't there to speak, I was just attending, this long-haired, hippie freak-looking guy with blonde hair walks by and he hands me a flyer. It says JV with Eric. His name is Eric Homeland. And Eric and I start talking, and I discover that we share a lot of the same values and faith. And he says, you know, Joel, if I can ever help you with something, then can I let you know? I said, absolutely. Which, by the way, that's key. Cannot tell you how many times I've been to conferences and people walk up to me. First, they shake my hand. Hey, great to meet you. Here's my card, and I'm launching this product on such and such date. How does that make me feel? How would it make you feel? Used. I mean, basically what it says is, hey, I know you. You've got a big list, right? And if you mail out for me, then I'll make a lot of money. That's not the way to introduce yourself to people. It's not the way to interact. Always ask first, what value can I add for you? Eric came to me, found out a little bit about me. We interacted on a human level, not on a business level, and then said, if I can ever help you. 2 weeks later, he sends me an email, says, let's talk. I said, okay. He's got an idea because I have all these customers that want to make money with AdSense, but so many of them are stuck at the action phase because they don't know how to build a website. He said, Joel, why don't we create some professionally designed templates that'll be used in multiple formats that are very flexible that all people have to do. It's even got the AdSense blocks on there. All they have to do is add content to it. We'll call it Instant AdSense Templates. I said, that sounds like a great idea. And he carried the weight on that JV with my approval for the designs according to my specs. And in July of that year, we sold $300,000 worth of Instant AdSense Templates. In October of that year, we launched the second edition and learned a little something about continuity programs. That is where people will pay you each month. We also learned about upsells, that if people will purchase something one time, they'll buy more a second time, especially if you give them a good deal. And in 5 days period, on a $197 product, we sold over $1 million in Instant AdSense templates. That's pretty cool. What did I do? I made myself accessible, available. I went to a conference, and the gentleman interacted with me on a human level, and we struck up a relationship, and there was a very successful joint venture. There never would have been a Next Internet Millionaire reality show if I hadn't met Eric. Los Angeles, maybe the city of angels after all. Actually, I've got them flip-flopped. I'm sorry, that was in Washington, D.C. Los Angeles was the first internet marketing seminar that I went to. I've been to so many seminars, please forgive me. This was November of '05, and my book had been out there, and I knew a couple marketers online, but it was all email, and I didn't really know these people. And who knows Jeff Walker? Jeff Walker is another guy to watch in this industry. He's responsible for the product launch formula, which has been used by hundreds, if not thousands, of people to launch their product out there. Anyway, Jeff suggested to me that I go to this conference. And he said, was I supposed to see that? I can't see you guys, so they're back there in the booth. Jeff said, you should go to this conference show. I said, why? I don't know. You know, it's $2,000 to go, and then I got to pay for my travel, and then I'm going to sit and listen to these guys go blah, 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 and then they're going to sell me something. I don't know. And he said, I think you should go. I think it'd be good for you. And I went ahead and registered. This is Armin Morin's big seminar. And the week before, or a few days before, I said to Mary, you know, I don't know if I really want to go to this thing. Who can relate, right? I don't know. She said, I don't know why, but I think you should go. Are you trying to get rid of me? I think you should go. I think it'll be